We call this the tactical courtesy vector. When unsolicited assistance bypasses your cognitive friction, it dismantles your inhibitory brake without firing a single warning shot. You interpret the subtle intrusion as kindness, immediately lowering your guard to accept the favor. This is not affection. This is target acquisition. I spent years analyzing 84 Chicago interrogation tapes focused exclusively on non-confrontational coercion tactics. The structural pattern of the approach is always identical. You are out there scanning the horizon for massive, explosive red flags. You expect shouting, obvious aggression, or overt attempts at control. But while your mental radar sweeps the sky for a threat, the predator is already underground, conducting silent, methodical excavations right beneath your feet. They do not breach your perimeter by force. They get you to open the gate by making themselves useful. They execute what we classify as micro-yield testing. These are calculated, 3-second delays disguised as everyday favors. They reach for your phone to fix a setting. They rearrange the items on your desk. They step into your physical space to carry a box you were already holding. They are actively measuring your compliance. They are calculating exactly how much territory you will surrender before you register the intrusion. The moment you hear this, the trap has already been set. Why do you assume benevolence just because someone is quietly taking over your personal ecosystem? That unsolicited favor is not their final attack. It is merely the groundwork, meticulously designed to bypass your defenses so they can plant a fabricated vulnerability directly onto your radar. We classify this mechanism as a decoy vulnerability. Predators intentionally fabricate minor, noticeable flaws or weaknesses in their daily patterns. The objective is to provoke your predatory empathy. Think of the recent intelligence reports detailing how an imperiled Air Force One was secretly evacuated, leaving a replica behind as a flying decoy. The decoy's sole purpose is to absorb the focus, diverting all tracking systems away from the primary structural infiltration. The manipulator presents a trivial defect, a sudden clumsiness, a feigned moment of confusion, a minor logistical mistake, forcing your threat assessment to lock onto a phantom target. Look back at your baseline. When was the last time someone bypassed your cognitive friction with unsolicited help and you felt an immediate drop in your operational control? Report the exact phrase they used in the comments below. Once they have your attention fixated on their manufactured weakness, they execute the anchor and shift protocol. By anchoring themselves to this minor, self-admitted flaw, they establish an unnaturally calm baseline. They act apologetic, passive, entirely harmless. This is a behavioral fulcrum. When you eventually detect their deeper incursions and react, your justified anger clashes violently against their artificial serenity. The contrast is engineered to frame you as hysterical. They shift the gravity of the situation, making your reaction the problem rather than their invasion. You are currently analyzing predatory behavior from the inside out. If you require this level of operational intelligence to fortify your mental perimeter, subscribe to Dark Mind Files. We do not deal in hope, we deal in behavioral mechanics. Understanding this mechanism is merely the theoretical phase. Diagnosing their emotional leverage is operationally useless if you do not execute a surgical testing procedure against them. Confronting them verbally about their hidden motives will only trigger their victim protocol and reinforce their serene facade. You cannot negotiate with a mirrored surface. Breaking the anchoring of a false vulnerability requires a cold response of behavioral engineering, not a verbal discussion. We must institute a strict paradigm shift in your threat assessment. You are going to transition from narrative listening to behavioral logging. Manipulators build their entire infiltration strategy on the words they feed you, relying on your natural instinct to decode their sentences. Stop decoding the script. The words are acoustic camouflage, designed to keep your analytical brain occupied while their hands dismantle your perimeter. From this moment forward, you will mute their dialogue in your mind. You will track exclusively their physical incursions, their spatial advancements, and their tactical positioning. You are no longer participating in a conversation. You are logging unauthorized access. To expose the predator operating beneath the artificial serenity, you must execute the 48-hour friction audit. This is a concrete operational procedure designed to test their resistance to boundary enforcement. Over a 2-day window, you will strategically inject minor calculated pushbacks against their unsolicited favors. When they step into your physical space to take over a mundane task, you block them with a flat, unemotional denial. You hold on to the object. You reclaim the territory. You are reinstalling the inhibitory brake they tried to quietly unscrew. A healthy individual will accept the boundary and retreat. A predator will experience a critical system failure. Denied their operational control, they will attempt to escalate the pressure or display sudden disproportionate aggression. The mask of the helpful ally will shatter, revealing the coercion mechanics operating underneath. Stop listening to the narrative, log the behavior. Run the 48-hour friction audit and observe how their mask fractures when you simply deny them operational access. Until next time, keep your cognitive perimeter secure. In our next briefing, we dismantle the decoy apology, the exact phrasing predators use to say sorry while surgically shifting the blame entirely onto your reaction.